Good evening. I am going to be talking about childhood cancer. I'm going to be talking about my brother Brandon, who was diagnosed at the age of 11 with childhood cancer. I'm going to be talking about some of the statistics when it comes to childhood cancer, some of the treatments, and also how childhood cancer has affected me and my life. Brandon was 11 years old when he was diagnosed with MPNS T sarcoma, and my life will forever be changed because of his diagnosis. I don't feel like we talk about childhood cancer nearly as much as we should. And my hopes for talking about childhood cancer is to bring more awareness to it. I feel like the more we know about it, the more we discuss about it, the more that we can be aware, raising funds for studies and treatments, and being able to hopefully find a cure one day for childhood cancer. So, a little bit about Brandon. Before Brandon was diagnosed with cancer, he was such a happy kid. He was born and raised in Syracuse, Utah. He's one of 7 children. Very happy, vibrant child, full of life, busy, such a boy. Loved hunting and football and camping and fishing and just being outdoors and being a wild boy. When Brandon was diagnosed with cancer, he was getting ready to go into the 7th grade. He went in to have a normal childhood checkup. And when he lay down on the table, you could clearly see that there was something wrong. The doctor took one look at him and noticed he had a mass bulging out of his abdomen. They immediately referred Brandon to Primary Children's Hospital here in Salt Lake City, Utah, and did further testing. Ended up doing surgery on the tumor in Brandon's abdomen and removed that. And then that was the start of his treatment. Brandon underwent different types of chemotherapy, and he fought. The one thing about his cancer as well is it wasn't typically a cancer that you would see in children. So it was a little bit more difficult and complex to treat because they'd never had to treat a child with this specific type of cancer. So after a long, hard year, Brandon ended up passing away. Unfortunately, he just could not fight, and they didn't have a cure or a treatment that was going to overcome the cancer. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about the statistics around childhood cancer. So every 3 minutes, a child is diagnosed with cancer somewhere in the world. In the United States, 9,620 children under the age of 15 will be diagnosed in the year 2024 with childhood cancer. There are 8 major types of childhood cancers. There definitely are hundreds more that can develop. They are a rarity, but still a possibility. There are different types of treatments for these cancers. Some of those are surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, and stem cell transplants. Now, the survival rates of children that have been diagnosed with childhood cancer have increased due to advancements in treatment and the treatment options that are available. However, we still have so many children that are suffering and dying each year because of childhood cancer. With the advancements in treatment, most children who have cancer, who are diagnosed now with cancer, typically live 5 years or more after the diagnosis. And then cancer is still the second leading cause of death in children ages 1 to 14, which is still so high. So my hope in bringing awareness to childhood cancer is the more we are aware of it, the more we talk about it, the more we fundraise for it, the more studies and treatment options we can gather for these children, and hopefully one day find a cure for childhood cancer. I also want to always shed light on Brandon's life and remember him and the joy that he brought to our lives and teaching us so much. Brandon was a wonderful brother, and we miss him every single day. There isn't a day that goes by that we don't talk about him or think about him or miss him. And I hope and pray that no parent or sibling has to hear that their loved one has a diagnosis of childhood cancer. I hope that one day that we can come together and find a cure for this disease and that no other child has to suffer. And I hope that after hearing my story and seeing an insight to it, that my brother's memory will live on.